I've been making YouTube videos for over 9 years now. 9 years and I still haven't made a single penny from YouTube. I started with a faceless gaming channel. I built a Pokemon card channel to over 1,600 subscribers. I tried 3 different faceless AI channels. I even tried TikTok Shop for a few months. But every single time I burned out, quit, started something new, burned out again. And for most of those 9 years, I genuinely thought that I must be the only person in the world that cannot make a successful YouTube channel. But last year, I was diagnosed with ADHD and I could finally see everything that I had been doing wrong for the past 9 years. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what worked for me and it's not what you're expecting. So to understand why everything I've tried over the past 9 years failed, I need to take you back to where it all started. January 2017, cue the montage music, I guess.
Flashback.
So I started my first YouTube channel back in January 2017. It was a faceless gaming channel. So it was literally just me playing my favorite video games, recording it and uploading it to YouTube. I watched a lot of other gaming channels at the time, like the Rad Brad, and genuinely my mindset was, wow, these guys get to play their games, they get millions of views and probably make a lot of money. I guess that's quite easy to do. Let me try. That was genuinely how I thought YouTube worked, right? I could not have been more wrong. So I took a break from YouTube for a few months, I think. I came back to the channel. I started doing Pokemon gameplay videos because Pokemon's always been a big part of my life. I'm a big Pokemon fan. And eventually that kind of transitioned into me building a Pokemon card channel. So I hadn't opened Pokemon cards in like 15 years. It was really fun, genuinely. Like the first video I filmed was awful. Like I did not know what I was doing, but you know, it was a good experience and I kind of built from there. I learned a lot about the Pokemon space, especially in the Pokemon card community. I made some really good friends, even done some like collaboration videos. I got to go to the Pokemon World Championships in London. That was so cool. But again, something similar happened, right? I really enjoyed it. But after a while, it was just kind of a combination of things as to why I stopped. So firstly, Pokemon cards are kind of pricey, like pretty expensive.
Shut up and take my money.
When I first started opening them, it was kind of manageable, but every year, I guess cost of living and all the other expenses were going up and Pokemon kind of had no choice but to just keep increasing their prices. So there was the financial stress of it. And also I just kind of stopped enjoying it after a while. I was essentially doing what all of the other Pokemon card YouTubers were doing. I was buying the new sets like as soon as I could get my hands on them, quickly filming the videos, spending hours editing them to try and get the video out as soon as possible because I knew there would be like a flood of videos on the specific new Pokemon card set and I was like, I have to be first to get some views. And thinking about it, it was such a backwards way of doing YouTube because I was essentially from that mindset just doing it to try and get as many views as possible, and it really took a lot of the enjoyment out of just opening Pokemon cards, just having fun with it. Again, came away from YouTube. I took about a year off from YouTube. I didn't post any videos for that year, but I was still kind of in the loop with YouTube videos. And that was kind of when ChatGPT and all the AI tools came out. So faceless AI YouTube was like the new big thing, right? So I watched every single video I could find on it. It's kind of like a thing I do with my ADHD. I kind of try and absorb as much knowledge as possible before going into something to kind of minimize the risk of it failing. Essentially.
That's normal.
And guess what? It kind of failed. So I went on to make, I think, 3 different faceless AI YouTube channels, but they were all based on trends. The first one was just short videos of 2 different creatures kind of fusing together. It was a bit of a weird trend, but I found a few videos explaining exactly how it worked. I found the AI tools I needed to create those videos. A few of them got a couple thousand views and I got, you know, a little dopamine hit from that.
I am so pumped up.
I was like, oh, people watching my videos, but I had no passion for it. Like I was just doing it for the sake of trying to get views and get money from those views, which is not the way you want to do YouTube. It's just not. Then I tried TikTok Shop, which was completely different for me. So I stepped away from YouTube. I saw that TikTok Shop was doing really well. Essentially how it works is you make videos to post on TikTok, which promote a specific item that people can buy on TikTok Shop, and if they buy that item you get a commission from it. But with TikTok you tend to get a lot more views per videos. I did actually manage to make like £100 altogether, but I had to make like 4 or 5 TikTok videos a day, and honestly I just had no passion for it. I just burnt out quit, moved on to the next thing, which was this channel. I started this channel again as a faceless AI channel, but specifically talking about AI tools because I know AI is massive and it's just going to keep growing. And then I realized I was just not doing the one thing I should have been doing all those years ago, just making a channel with me on camera, but making videos specifically to help other people. So what was actually going wrong? Because I wasn't lazy. Like, I put all my effort into every single YouTube channel and TikTok shop. I learned as much as I could, and I genuinely gave it a good few months for each one, even a few years for the Pokemon card stuff, right? So what happened? Like, what went wrong? The first lesson I learned from all of this, and this one took me 2 years of Pokemon card openings to figure out: education beats entertainment on YouTube every single time. Most of the channels that I created were purely entertainment based. They're fun to watch, they're fun to make, but they didn't actually solve a problem for anyone. Like, no one desperately needs to watch a Pokemon card opening.
How dare you?
And if they do, they could just watch one of the bigger content creators because it's essentially the same opening, right? So I actually learned this from my Pokemon card channel because I made a handful of videos which were very specifically aimed at solving problems. Those videos became like 100x outliers on my channel because people were actively searching for videos to solve that specific problem. And that's when I first kind of clocked onto it. If you take the time to make content which solves a problem, you're more likely to get more views, but just over a longer period of time, because if it's a very specific problem and people can't find a lot of YouTube videos solving that problem, they come to your video. YouTube is a search engine at the end of the day, right? People use it to find solutions to problems that they're having. Solving a specific problem for a specific person is how small YouTube channels actually earn money without needing millions of views. But just knowing that education beats entertainment didn't fix my second problem. The second lesson is the one I resisted the longest, and it's actually the simplest. Stop hiding and actually just show up as yourself. I realize this looking back now, but I made all of those faceless AI channels to kind of hide behind because it felt safer for me. It felt less scary than actually putting myself out there, actually sharing my opinions and actually trying to help people. The faceless AI content has no barrier to entry as of right now. Anyone can do it. The AI tools are that good. Anyone can just make a video. And that's why people started calling it AI slop, because the internet is just being flooded with these AI generated videos. And what that does is it severely lowers trust in the viewer watching the video, because at the end of the day, they've come to watch a video for human connection. They want someone real to be solving their problems, and they want to be watching something real. And I know this personally because I've made those videos and I felt nothing when I made them. Nothing! I had no passion for making them, aside from the fact that one of the videos might blow up, it might go viral, and I might make some money from it. And that's just really not a sustainable mindset if you want to do YouTube and you want to make a success out of it. And I know this now, looking back on everything. And people are getting tired of AI slop. AI is everywhere at the moment. You cannot go through your Instagram feed without seeing something about AI. But what it can't replace is a real human being telling a real story based on their real experiences. And being diagnosed with ADHD gave me the angle that I now have with this channel. It helped me to understand why I had failed so many times at YouTube, the burnout, the shiny object syndrome, all of that. And it gave me a chance to help anyone that's going through a similar journey to what I've been through over the past 9 years. But here's the thing, even when I did start showing up on my channel, I still kept burning out because I was relying on the wrong thing the entire time. Before I jump into the final lesson, just quickly, if you are an ADHD creator and you keep starting and stopping channels like I did, I've made a completely free AI toolkit with prompts that help you from everything from coming up with video ideas to scripting and editing your videos, all without burning out. It's completely free, links down below. All right, so the third and final lesson is the one that changed my actual day-to-day life, not just in terms of YouTube, everything. And it comes down to one simple shift: stop relying on motivation and start building systems instead. And honestly, it was really difficult for me because I thought to myself, I must be one of the only people in the world that just can't make a successful YouTube channel. It turns out my brain just works very differently to most other people. It was kind of weird getting diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 30, realizing that I've gone like 30 years without even knowing I had it. But I think that's when everything started to finally make sense to me, and it's been really helpful in terms of me understanding how my mind processes emotions and thoughts, and it is quite different to how most people do. And it's really helped with the YouTube stuff, I think, just accepting that I have ADHD, sharing my journey about that, so I can potentially help other people out there with ADHD who are also trying to, do this whole YouTube thing like I am. Motivation is unreliable. I have tried to rely on motivation so many times, but obviously it's not something you always have, especially as a busy dad who wakes up at 5, has a full-time job, has a very energetic toddler, and I'm also trying to work on this YouTube channel. Motivation is not always going to be there for me, which is why I started building systems instead, so they are there when I need them. I've set up a few different projects in Claude, which I use for content creation. I have a personal progress partner, which I use to journal, and then I use those journal entries to help me come up with YouTube video ideas, and it helps me use real examples from my real life in my YouTube videos. So everything I share on this channel is as authentic and human as I can make it. So let me share the 3 biggest lessons that I've learned over the past years as simply as I can, because I wish someone had told me this 9 years ago when I first started. Stop chasing views, focus on solving a real problem for a real person. Be yourself on camera. Do not hide behind all of these faceless AI channels. Your story and your opinions are the unfair advantage no AI tool can copy. And stop relying on motivation, because it's not always going to be there for you. So start building systems instead, and start building systems that work with your brain instead of against it. It took me 9 years to figure this stuff out. I don't want it to take that long for you. So hopefully this helps. And guys, don't forget to grab that free AI toolkit I mentioned earlier, completely free, links down below. And if you want to see exactly how I use Claude to run my whole content creation system without burning out, then check out this video next.